America has become completely unaffordable, and I don't know why more people are not talking about this. Half of America doesn't even have a savings, rent is insane, healthcare is a luxury, and somehow the narrative is still people are just bad with money. Like, what money? People are working full time, most people have 2 to 3 jobs anymore because you have to. At what point do we stop blaming the people and just accept the fact that the cost of living has simply just outpaced reality? Because everything is this expensive, you have to know exactly where all of your money is going anymore. Like, a budget is just simply a necessity. You have to have one. Started using a budgeting app like mine to figure out where all of my money is going, but it does not make up for the fact that America is too expensive to live in anymore. If you're struggling, you are not alone.
Is it important to have a budget? Yes. But is America unaffordable to live in? Ultimately, I don't think so. I also believe that two things can be true. Has costs gone up over time? Yes, absolutely. But we can also control who we live with and where we live, giving us the freedom to choose how expensive or inexpensive our expenses can be. My name is Elijah Rhodes, and I just spend time going over how I can actually keep and earn more of my dollar. Today's topic of discussion is it really affordable to be within America, and is renting really worth it? We're going to be hearing from the people to see what they actually have to say about renting and see what they say.
I would literally not have a problem with rent prices if that included my water, my utilities, my trash, my parking space. Like, I understand, like, okay, $1,200, but all that's included. No. No. $1,200 is just for your room, babe. Just for your room. And if you have roommates, they have to also pay that as well. It's literally $1,200 for your room, for where your bed is and for where that bathroom is. $1,200. Sometimes it's $1,400, $1,500. And they're like, but you have the state-of-the-art pool and like a cute little community room where you can play like pool and foosball. And they're quick to slap the luxury tag on there if you have a concrete wall in your or in your apartment unit in general. I don't know how concrete equaled luxury, but somehow now it does. I used to think when I was younger that I was gonna get an apartment and just buy out a 2-bedroom, and I just have a bedroom extra for like guests, or like my makeup room, or like a bigger closet would just be the other room. I didn't realize that was gonna be a $1,200 to $1,400 closet. Like, what? $1,400 guest room. It's so crazy when you think about it, because like, where's my money going? Where is it going?
People that are renting out their places for $1,400 or $1,200 for a room, I believe is absolutely ridiculous. If anybody has any type of capital like that, don't do that. If people are actually doing that, then that just speaks to how affordable things are, or that's how things appear to be. However, I still believe that we still have the freedom of choice. We don't have to rent from this $1,200 place, but I can also understand the need to move, the need to go and travel for a new place. Perhaps it's for a job, perhaps it's for family. So I can understand how people need to move, but can't really find anything affordable to do so. $1,200 for a room. Let me know if you've rented a room for that. I think that's absolutely insane. But let's just see how other people think about renting.
The idea that renting is throwing away money is one of the most persistent financial myths in America, and it needs to die. Let's use real current numbers for this example, right?
All right.
A $350,000 house, right? Starter home, which is actually below the median right now, right? Like, there's not a lot of markets where you can even find a house like that. But let's use that as a starting point, right? With 5% down, so again, way less than 20%, because you just want to get in and it's hard to save that much money. With 5% down at today's interest rates, which interest rates have gone up again, right? Let's say around 6.9%, because that's around what it is. Here's what your monthly costs would actually look like. Mortgage payment itself would be $2,900 a month, okay? $2,190 a month, okay? Property taxes, again, depends on where you live, but roughly $350. Homeowners insurance, $150. PMI, because you put less, that's private mortgage insurance, because you put less than 20% down, adds another $222 a month. Rough. Then you add in maintenance, which everyone forgets, right? That costs on average 1% of the home value per year, which is another $292 a month if you budget that monthly. Your
Sounds
true
expensive.
monthly cost of owning that home, again, a $350,000 home, not what most cities are, which is like 500, 600, 700, right? The true monthly cost of owning that home is $3,203 a month. And a comparable rental in most markets is around $1,800, right? And if you disagree with that in your city, it's higher. Cool. Let's say 22, right? 2,500. Still a huge gap. But the $1,800 versus, the 3,000 something, that's a $1,400 a month difference every single month. Even an $800 a month difference is insane, right? So now here's what happens instead of buying when you invest the $17,500 down payment and the $1,400 a month difference into a simple index fund at the historical 7% average return. And that's conservative. It's more like 8 or above. But in 10 years, your investment portfolio is worth $277,000. And in 30 years, it's worth $1,845,000. Okay. The homeowner in 30 years, assuming 3% annual appreciation, has a home worth $849,000 fully paid off. That sounds great until you remember that they also paid $455,000 in interest over 30 years, and on top of the original purchase price, right? The true cost of the $350,000 home over 30 years in this scenario is over $900,000. Now, I want to be clear about something. I'm not saying you shouldn't buy a home or never buy a home. I'm saying you buy a home for the right reasons, not an investment, like everyone says. It's a really great investment. People who say that are old, or they bought in 2022 or earlier and they got to see the explosion of home value in a very short amount of time, but that's not normal over the course of, that's just something we've seen post-COVID. So their context is blurred, okay? When you should buy a home because you want to paint your walls, because you need a yard for your dog, because you want to have, stay in a community for decades and build roots, because you genuinely want a house and you don't want to share walls in an apartment, right? That's valid. That's why I want to buy a house, but do not buy a home with 5% down at nearly 7% interest in a market where prices have not corrected just because someone told you to stop throwing money away on rent because you felt like you're falling behind, or that it's a great investment. That's how you should invest your money, especially if you're not maxing out your Roth or your 401k, or you don't have your own investments like in index funds. It doesn't make sense. The math is not mathing. It doesn't support rushing to home ownership right now unless you bought, again, before 2022 and locked in a low rate. If you did, congrats. Genuinely, you probably shouldn't leave. That was the window. For everyone else, renting and investing, the difference is not settling. It might actually be the smarter play.
So she's actually saying that renting can actually be a good thing compared to putting a down payment on a house. If we instead put our money in the markets, we'll have a greater return than someone that had a home. I also want to stress the importance of group economics. Because rents are so high, it's very unlikely that a person will be able to sustain themselves alone trying to rent a house and also trying to feed their family and also trying to educate themselves and also trying to start their business. Nowadays, people need to practice group economics in order to get ahead. If you're 18, please stay home with your parents, stack up as much as you can, put up with whatever drama that you got going on with your life so you can live the rest of your life on your terms. If you're someone that needs a roommate, go ahead and get yourself a roommate or some type of partner that you guys will be able to help one another get ahead. If you can't live with your parents, try to move in with a roommate and divide and conquer the cost. Because if you have less cost, that means you can put more away into the things that is more meaningful to you. Is America unaffordable? Well, if you go about it the right way, put money back, keep your cost of living low, and prevent lifestyle creep, then yes, America is not unaffordable. On the other side, if you're not bringing in enough and you're just struggling to get by and you're not really doing the right things to put yourself in the right position. And of course, America won't be affordable eh, or even attainable for you. But let me know, is America truly unaffordable? Is renting worth it? Please share this with your friends and family to start the conversation on renting and is it worth it or not? Until next time.